Okay, let's get a sound check. All right, sounds good. All right, everybody. I see a few folks starting to pile in here. Welcome to the Trade Ideas Live Q&A. Today is Tuesday, December 3rd, 2024. As you folks all begin to make your way in, if you're new here, we do this as an open live forum every day, noon Eastern to 1 p.m. Eastern. We don't have any pre-done content. My name is Chris Varley, one of the trader support and tech support folks here with Trade Ideas. So we encourage you, please engage, ask your questions here. This is where if you're just kind of kicking the tires and trying to figure out if Trade Ideas is the right fit for you, get some questions answered here live with on-screen sharing. You're just new to Trade Ideas, just recently subscribed, same idea, only, we want to get you moving in the direction of the software that you're trying to go right now. So as I often say, I cannot answer the questions that are not asked. So please, please make sure you get your questions in for me. Selfishly, I much prefer it when you folks are asking questions and me just kind of meandering through charts and scans and whatnot. It doesn't really bode well for anybody for me to just kind of randomly talk without any real purpose or direction behind it. Aside from that, the questions you have are often similar or exactly the same as the questions other folks have, right? So it starts a good dialogue and that kind of community feeling that we want to have here for everybody. I say it often. I'll continue to always say it often. There's room for everybody at the top as far as I'm concerned when it comes to the market. There's plenty of liquidity out there to be in and out of trades and many, many stocks every single day, but there is not room for is lack of discipline, lack of education, and lack of hard work. Those things will take you out of the market real fast, faster than most people can imagine. Speaking from experience on this one. So again, folks, don't be shy. Please, 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 please get questions in for me. Of course, if nobody's going to ask any questions here, I will do my best. Keep it entertaining, educational, and informative here. So clearly nothing coming in off the bat here. All right, fair enough, nothing coming in. So let's, I guess we'll dive around the market a bit here. Start with IREN. I'm going to start with this because I took a day trade in it earlier today. Not that that helps you any, but I don't know, walk you behind a little of my process here on this. I took it on the earlier side of things that I like for a couple of reasons. So usually I don't like to take any kind of trades before really like that 10:05 5-minute candle to close, starting off at 10:06 Eastern time, of course. But I like the way this was setting up against the rest of the market here. The one thing I didn't like is that the relative volume was never really high on this, even earlier in the day when the volume was up a bit more. But the likes outweighed the dislikes, so we gapped down and it recovered here. And when we got this next candle opening here, I liked that a lot. I had a market order. I went in, and what I was looking at was the fact that we had some room up here. I was also, though, looking at intraday wise that we might struggle around this 1325 area here, give or take. Draw a line on that real fast. So I thought we might struggle around there as well, too. So I thought to myself, this gives me enough room to $13 that if it falters too much at $13, I can get out for a couple dollars. If it moves through, we've got room to here. If it gets through here, we've got room towards the high of the day of yesterday as well. So I like the risk reward scenario that it's set up here. I was going to backstop it against the low of yesterday, actually, because I felt like if we took out the low of yesterday again, then we'd head to the low of today and then, possibly more. So earnings were behind it, obviously. And so I did exit here at about, I think I got out at 13.23 was the fill. I had a market close on that there. And, we could see we poked up a bit above it and then fell down. So, it's hindsight to say, oh, well, if I held on, I could have gotten out here, or, I could have, but then I'm sitting through all these big down draws again, right? And realistically, who wants to see, let's just pretend for 1 second, at here, I'm up $100 and down here, now I'm up $50, just for an example. Are you really going to watch $50 slip away from you? I've done it. It doesn't feel good. And usually I end up being wrong for doing that because you don't get that bounce back, right? There's no way to know that you'll get that bounce back. So the trade management it's as important as anything else. Now this, for whatever purposes, this was coming through my evening scan really early. Usually I use this to do homework for my swing trading ideas here, but it was coming through this early. I just like that setup from it there, that it was doing enough volume, a lot of liquidity and all that right there. So, yeah. So anyways, that was, thought behind IREN. Again, hindsight's 2020. Sure, if I held on, if I didn't sell here, right, I could have gotten all out up in here. But, look, no one's buying that and selling that, right? I got this piece in between here. I'm pretty happy with that, right? If you can get that kind of piece consistently in between like those highs and lows like that, the peaks and troughs, it's, realistically looking pretty good for you. So anyways, like I said, I don't know how much that really helps you for me to talk about a hindsight trade like that, but with no questions coming in, I figured, I guess let's lead off with that. And again, I see a dozen or so more people have joined here. This is an open forum, folks. So if you've just joined, please feel free to get some questions in here for me regarding the software. If you're dying for me to look at a chart for you, I'll look at a chart. Clearly, I'm never going to tell someone, buy, sell, hold, or anything like that. But we could look at some levels and things like that. And, what I see may not be what you see, right? Just to keep that in mind. Technical analysis is subjective. Beauty's in the eye of the chart holder, all those kinds of things like that I like to say. So again, if you have any questions, please, folks, it's an open forum. Get those questions in for me. We'll go over them, so on and so forth. So, let me, sorry, I'd like to put on the trade wave here, especially when I'm live streaming. So, all right, still nothing coming in question-wise. So why don't we, we do the same stuff every time there's no questions. Sorry, Frankie, I apologize for that. We are overhauling stuff with the website constantly. Do apologize for that. I will, when I'm meeting with the management team earlier, I'll make brings it to a November date. Strange. If you used, hang on 1 second. I just want to test something on a link here. All right, so it should, if you're using, I just want to bring this over real quick. If you were on our education page here and here's the education page. If you come down to the live daily support sessions, you should get this right here, which is us right now, or, at the beginning of right now. So strange that it brought you to November date. I'm curious what you, curious what link you hit that would have brought you to November, so I can make sure that doesn't happen again. You could share, if you happen to have the link, if you wouldn't mind sharing it there, just so I can troubleshoot a little bit and try to ensure that doesn't happen again. So, okay, thank you very much. All right, that's big. That's big. I really appreciate that. Sorry, I'm going to take a screenshot of your comment there. I'm going to pass that to the person that helps with that. Michael, he's moved on from trade ideas, unfortunately. Not something awesome as far as I'm concerned, but these things happen, right, in life and all that. So, sorry to see him go. Consider, Michael, a dear friend, a work friend here, and I learned, I got to meet him in real life. Even though we live many hundreds of miles apart, it's a lot that I got to learn from Michael. So, that's the nature of the business. The same as Sean years ago, left us as well, and it's just kind of the way things go sometimes. So, I'm sure you're going to find him somewhere out there doing his thing and doing well, because and he may end up, who knows, he may end up as a billionaire on the Caribbean. I won't be surprised, I'll tell you that much. That's for sure. So all right, Frankie, again, I thank you for that. I pass that over to Brains Greater Than Mine to see why the AI on the homepage would send you to an old link there. So that covers Michael. How do I get the wave trader on my chart? Yeah, so Chun, you want to make sure you are on our latest beta version, and that if you go to help and about on the menu bar there, the latest beta should be 5.6.104. You got to be on that to have the trade wave. I'm going to give you a link to our download page. Bear with me. So if you're not on that, copy link address. Let's drop that here. All right. And when you get to the download page, please make sure you look for the beta. It's going to say beta right there. Right. That's the beta. Make sure you download that one right there, please. All right. Once you have downloaded that, you want to right click your chart and make sure there's a check mark in the use browser interface. See, I can uncheck it and then I can recheck it. Once you have checked that, look for the FX. If I could draw, that would be better. There we go. I guess that's kind of a good enough arrow. You click that FX, you'll see trade wave here. You can go ahead and click that on. And simple as that. That's where you can find the trade wave. So on the trouble installing there, on Edispos, if I'm not butchering your name too much there, I have inquired from our dev team what we can do. I believe, I suspect I'm the one emailing back and forth with you, or you're the one emailing back and forth with me, and I'm waiting to hear back from them on the next steps here. Really don't run across anybody not able to install when you're on a PC. So if you can bear with me and be patient, and in the meantime, if you can leverage the web version instead till I can get someone, or someone can figure out why you're having such a trouble here. I'm led to believe at this point it's either something with your graphics card, or an antivirus or something, something like that blocking. That's the only two things that I can think of off the top of my head, but I'm not a developer, so I surmise you are the one that I am back and forth with here. Thor, I believe, is the name on the emails going back and forth. So I apologize. Hope to have an answer for you using the website for now. Okay, and there's two different web accesses just in case as well. Let me show you here real fast. So on the download page here, the links there that I just shared, you have this web access that's here. This is more close to the desktop version. It's going to have a lot of the channels that we have, the pre-made scans. You make your own scans, edit scans, so on and so forth in there. So that's one web access there. And then there is also our market dashboard. So I like to call one the dashboard and one the web access. Bear with me. I'm going to copy this link here and put that there. And for the web dashboard, this is what that will look like here. And so a lot of different things you can click on in here for different market data, so on and so forth. and I'm on delayed data. You can go live. It's just that if I go live, it'll boot me from the download app right now, and I prefer to be in the download app personally. So yeah, those are the two options that you have there. And on this here, you can have multiple tabs of this open at the same time. So, we can duplicate this out, a bunch of times here if we wanted. And, I could have this on momentum waves, and I can have this on sectors in play, and I could have this on unusual options, for example. So these, all load up into the different, if I give them a chance to load, of course, it's sitting on the page. They'll each load up to those individual ones, and you can tab back and forth between them as well with the dashboard here. So a couple different options for you there as far as web access goes while we do some troubleshooting on the back end. In the event you are not the person I've been emailing with back and forth that is having trouble launching, I believe you are the person, but if you are not, info@trade-ideals. Shoot me an email there if you are not the person that I have been emailing with for this morning here while I'm waiting to hear from the development team. I actually meet with them right after this. So there's that. Let's see. Make sure I get everything here. Yeah, Pepe. Yeah, that's a loss for us. The way the business goes, referencing Pepe's comment about Michael moving on from us. So yeah, it's a loss. It stinks. That's all I can say. Never like to lose a friend. He's not gone. You know what I mean? I'll see him. I'll talk to him again, but not on the daily basis that I'm used to for the last several years. Yeah, he has his stats edge thing, Benson. So, he's probably going to obviously focus more on that, I'd have to imagine. Yep, same person this morning. All right, perfect. All right, so I think I'm caught up there with the questions from everybody. So don't be shy. Get some more questions in for me, please. Yeah, I think I caught up on everything that people had here. Yeah. All right. So yeah, don't be afraid. Get some more questions in for me, folks. If not, let's, I guess, look at some stuff right now. So ATIP winning a number of races, won the last race. So yeah, this thing's having a blockbuster day, but there's always a but, right? Look at those topping and bottoming shadows. This goes back to, my original thing. Imagine for 1 second, let's just say, we're looking at a break of this level here. We get in here on this break. We trade up here, right? And we come way down here below the money. And we trade way up here, right? And we come way down here. Holding through stuff like that, realistically, again, you're up $100, you're down $75, right? Who realistically is going to let that happen? I'm sure there are people that do it. Perhaps they have some indicator, whatever, that's going to keep them in that trade. I don't, so there's no easy trade. These are the ones that are much tougher than everything else out there. So can I analyze ARCAT? Yeah, I'd take a look at the chart. ARCAT. Let's see here. So things gone pretty nutty for a hot minute here, giving some back, of course. I always like to have this on the long side of it. Are we looking at it? Let's see. Well, we'll start off on a daily look, and then we'll look on an intraday look. So, but if you have a preference of daily or intraday look, let me know, and I'll pivot accordingly. But on the daily look here, it's really taken off here. Lifetime high of 1257. So I'm guessing that happened here, right? So it's wrecked its all-time highs. It's come back down. there's a lot of gaps to fill in here. A lot of people believe gaps are meant to be filled. Oops. There we go. I was trying to zoom in. I didn't realize the drawing tool is still on. So it's filled this gap here. So that's interesting in that sense, trying to find maybe a little support here. It's interesting that, settled into the wave here. We see it tag the wave there. And I see your question, James, about the wave. If you bear with me just one moment, I will be going over that. So, it still looks, obviously it's still in some favorable momentum, but being back under $10, which is a huge psychological number, and it kind of giving this middle finger right here, for lack of a better term, I wouldn't call it a shooting star just because it's got this tail on the bottom of it, right? So, we're well off the bottom here, or, a good amount off the bottom here, also off the top. So more of almost a harami than anything, than a shooting star at this point, given that tail. If it moves back up again, it'll move towards a doji. So that's what I'd be looking at there. I mean, if we're looking at risk levels here, now nothing I say is, construed as a buy, hold, sell, or anything else, but I'd be concerned if it took out the low of the day again, because then you're looking at maybe taking towards this low here, and then you got this gap to fill, and this gap to fill, and this gap to fill, and gaps do love to be filled. I will say this. I'm guessing this is some kind of AI play. Records. Being hardware, blockchain, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, so it's all kind of in that whole world of AI and blockchain and all those things like that, which is the flavor of the year. I won't be surprised if we continue to see that into 2025, but that's very speculative to think that way. So that's what I'm looking at there. As a bull on a daily chart, you want to reclaim that $10 without any question. You do not want to see it give up. You don't want to see it give up $9. You do not want to see it give up $9. On an intraday look here, let's drill in a little bit better. A lot of work to be done here now. Clearly in a downtrend. You're below the VWAP now. Obviously, volume is drying up here on you. The sellers have you under pressure. So even if it starts to move up, you've got this level here. Look at this. Price seems to love this level. Now it's below that level. So it's got to fight this level, fight the VWAP, fight $10, right? So a lot of fighting it has to do to come up to the upside here. So that's what I'd be looking at with the ARCAT there. For fun, pure speculation, of course, it's in the sector that is the hottest at the moment by leaps and bounds, leaps and bounds, leaps and bounds. I don't know if to call it a sector or not, but the theme anyways. Trade wave. So James, real quick here, you gotta be on the download software, go to help and about. Make sure you're on 5.6.104. You got to be on that version of the software. That is our beta version. You have access to that beta version via the download page. We'll do this one more time here. Let me drop that link in here again for you, my friend. So on the download page, just make sure you download the beta here, right? This is the production version. So please do not download the production. Download the beta here, all right? Once you have downloaded that beta, you are going to right-click the chart and make sure that use browser interface has a check mark in it. See, I unchecked it. Now I'm going to go ahead and check it again. Then you'll be looking at the FX here. Click that, and you'll see the trade wave. I do have a personal video that I made of this, so let me I'll go ahead and share that to my own. I have my own YouTube page for fun. Nothing crazy or anything there, but you're welcome to all peruse it if you like. This is a video I did on the trade wave. Yeah, most people go for the production version, and other people like to go for the production version because they don't want a beta test, obviously. But we also like to try to get out new features as soon as possible. Sometimes maybe we get them out a little too soon, but that's the way it goes sometimes when you're trying to cut the edge of technology and all that. Hope the attrition's not contagious. If that's in reference to me going Pepe, I'm not going anywhere. I mean, not by will, anyways. Hope Trade Ideas will have me sticking around as long. I'd like to stick around as long as they'll have me. I enjoy myself here, and Michael is doing a lot of his own stuff like that. I just don't have any attention of that. I like to educate people and whatever else, but I'll do videos for fun and like I do already and things like that, but not looking to create my own service or nothing like that. So, no, I enjoy what I do here. I enjoy the team. All right, so good, got it. Yeah, we did that. He's looking good there. Okay, so what's one thing that I haven't shown really? I don't remember if I showed it last time. Maybe I did. I can't remember. So the Trade Wave obviously puts these on charts. There's no way to get alert. Every stock is getting a Trade Wave signal. I don't know how often, but 8,000 stocks in the market. No way to alert all that going on, right? Constantly in and out like that. However, we have created a couple of Trade Wave alerts. So if you go to New Market Explorer, I'll widen this out a little bit here. Let me get rid of this menu bar. Right click, select strategy. We've got a whole number of strategies in there. So if you're not familiar with the Market Explorer, there are a lot of strategies in here. There are two that you have to have an add-on product to access, the Go, No Go, and the AVWAP. But outside of that, you have access to all these here. They do change on occasion. It's a completely different server tech that we use for building these. So it's not, can't configure these or anything like that. But if there's a strategy in here that just no one ever uses, it takes a lot of horsepower for us in server cost. So we will kill those strategies that aren't used every now and again. With all that said, Trade Wave down here, we've got a daily, a weekly, and a 5-minute here. So you can open those up and get some different items that are in here, and check the signals out that are here. There's just the buy side, no sell side on any of this. So you look at the wave and see what the wave is got going on. So let's take a look at something CZR. Let's take a look at CZR. So, we get the buy here. Back to long. So we get the buy here where the wave makes the turn in the crossover, right? Running into VWAP. And so if this thing continues to move down, that wave kind of collapses upon itself, moves back to that downward orange again, we'd see a sell signal again, right? So these are things that you want to consider when you're looking at it, thinking to yourself, all right, well, we're already in a downtrend. And this looks like it's kind of market reliant. What do I mean by that? Well, let's look at the overall market here on the SPY. We opened here, kind of traded flat, moved down, got back up to the opening range there, and traded back down. And now we're covering. And this has kind of just been, here's the end of yesterday. And so it's just been kind of selling off. Now we've got a little bit of a possible 3-bar rally here on the SPY, or 3 green bars in a row. So we're seeing some green here. So this thing isn't, necessarily trading on its own in any kind of alpha way or anything like that. So these are the things you want to look at when you're looking at any stock and any indicator. But I think even more here where you're trying to maybe leverage some help on when do I enter, when do I exit. Well, this is the kind of stuff I'd be looking at like that, Let's look at an alert from a little earlier. So we're at 12:30 now. Let's get something that's, it's like CAPR. So same kind of idea here. So at 12:50, so it would have been right here. We got the buy signal. So there it is. There's the buy signal. It happened there. And it was fast and it was short-lived, right? We were already in that downtrend. We're below the VWAP. So for all these reasons, it's a tough buy signal to want to get. It just happened to make enough of a turn up on those prior bars that happened. So this is why, I know everybody wants the end-all, be-all, tell me when to buy, tell me when to sell, but it just doesn't exist yet. Maybe it does, and I don't know about it. I'm going to take a look at a few more of these here. Yeah, I can do SoFi. So, we can see here again, I don't know why this just wants to go short always. You know what? I want to see something real fast. All right. Anyways, so we see that with that here, we got that quick buy and a sell, and then a buy back. And this second buy looks nicer because we are flirting around here at the VWAP, right? And we're able to get back and capture it, getting back over that 238 number. That leaves us a nice bit of room to go here. So that's a much nicer buy signal here than what we saw here, to be honest. Because on here was just two quick bars up. Now we can see we've got a little bit of up, consolidated, and a little more up. That's why I think it's a little nicer. Quite personally, SoFi. SoFi. A bit a popular one, right? Yeah. It's on a nice run, good trajectory on the daily chart. Sitting here hanging out. By the time it comes into the cloud, it's supported by it. It is making a little pullback now, so we'll see what happens with that next. Clearly an extremely liquid stock with nearly 22.5 million shares traded on it just today. But we're chopping around a lot on the day today. We're below the VWAP right now. So these are things that I'd be looking at. On the daily chart, well, you might consider it's settling into the cloud here, and maybe you're going to get an entry, where you want to play it. Do you want to play it against a 15 solid number? You want to play it back down here? You want to play it off that gap? As far as downward levels and stops go, there's no right answer on this. It's what are you willing to risk? But not just what are you willing to risk? Why are you willing to risk it? You gotta have a reason, not just because that sounds good. You gotta have a reason why that looks like something you want to do. Lifetime high is 24.95, so we're well off of that. I don't even know where we find that. Let's I just always like to look at the risk reward on this here. Oh, look, my algo strategy took this as a trade here. Interesting. All right. So on the weekly, man, this thing is up and away, and we don't even see a lifetime high on this. Still on the weekly. Holy mackerel! We got to go all the way back to back to November 2021 to even get there. So, this thing is really kind of taken off to the races here. Really broken out of that. As far as the weekly chart goes, it is running into some resistance here. So no surprise. I do not think that's an accident. Price is memory because people have memory. If it can settle up and through this here, you don't really have anything to stop it up until all-time highs. It's a 1 billion float. So the stock doesn't move because of retail traders. The stock moves because of institutions and hedge funds and things of that nature. So keep in mind when you trade stocks, right, who are the ones that are really able to move it? 50 million shares in the float, a group of retail traders can move that thing, right? 1 billion in the float. There's, you'd need a really large, coordinated group of traders to move that thing. That's not something you're likely to see. And if you did see that, there'd probably end up being some investigation because, the retail traders are the ones that always get smacked the hardest by the SEC and those folks. It's never the institutions that get smacked. So just keep that in mind. So yeah, solid looking chart. One person's going to say this is a bit of a chase. Another person says it's ready to continue. I'm sure they both have their valid reasons for it though. So, but know your time frame. Take a look at your time frame. Know your reasons why you like or dislike something on the time frame, and then have a logical reason why you would enter. If you've entered already, have a logical reason why you're out to the downside and why you're out to the upside. Oh, very good, very good, very good. So yeah, look, the chart looks nice, and again, this is where I wish we had log charts because, looking at it like this, we look extended, right? But drill in doesn't look so extended anymore, right? you know, who's right? Is that right? Is that right? You know, again, so subjective, this stuff. That's why I wish we had log charts. Someday. So, all right. We're having a good session here. Anybody, you know, I see, wow, I didn't realize the numbers got so high in here, actually. Hope these are real people. You know, it's a live Q&A, folks. It's open forum. So anybody, James, first off, you keep throwing questions in, please, by all means. And, you know, anything you got, don't be shy. Same goes for anybody else that's here. If you have questions, please get those questions into me, right? Don't hesitate. That's what I'm here for. You know, I'd like to do what I can to assist anybody as far as the software goes and helping make a decision. You know, first off, if you subscribe to the software, I want to get you the help you're looking for in the software. The only way you're staying subscribed to software is if you make money, right? We want you to stay subscribed. We want you to make money. If you're deciding whether to subscribe or not, you know, honestly, I want to sell you on it, right? I think we've got the best stuff out there personally. All right. Well, don't be shy. I don't know if you've emailed in at all. You know, there's so many emails that come in, and, you know, trying to keep track of names these days, especially after we have a sale like we did, you know, the emails come flooding in. So eventually when people email in several times, I start to get a rapport and remember names. But if you haven't, info@trade-ideas.com, you know, anytime after hours or whatever, you know, get an email in there and I'll get back to you as soon as I can, or myself or someone, you know, there's a few other folks, you know, with me here as well. So don't be shy. You know, we're here to help. Software for the channel being somewhere else. Yeah, that's that'll be our live chat. You'll find me in the live chat also. Not right now, obviously, but that's where you'll find me in the live chat a lot of times. So linking the software, let me somewhere else. I want Gene and the. Let me see here. New. Yeah, my mic's close to it. It's a clacky keyboard. Sorry. If I try to run any of those softwares that isolate sound and get those things out, it takes my system down. For whatever reason, I don't exactly have an old computer, nor is it bad tech or whatever it is. But every time I run it, just everything comes to a screeching halt on this. So we'll see. Maybe Santa will buy me a new computer for Christmas. But this is only a year and a half old also. So I think the biggest thing, I don't have a video card on this, so that kind of trips me up sometimes. But anyways, neither here nor there. Can we back test the trade wave? No, I'm sorry. There's no back testing of the trade wave. This is in our Market Explorer. So this has there's things we could do in this that we can't do in the regular software. So you can only back test regular alert windows. Sorry. Oh wait, I was trying to, what was I doing? Channel bar. So I wonder what you were looking at in the channel bar. It would take me somewhere. Oh, YouTube here. What happens if I hit that? Nope, that should take you to here. Interesting. Because that, when I click that, that took me here. I can see that's where I am, or yeah, that's where I am right now. Actually, SoFi's up on the chart. Strange. I wonder why you guys are getting something different when you click these things than I am. Get into the lab and take a look on the other end when I free up here in a few. But we got a bit left here. I'm going to wrap up just a minute or two before 1 o'clock because I have to get into a different meeting at 1, and then I get another meeting at 2 Eastern times. So please, folks, get the questions in for me. Really, really, really important. Really important. It's important to me because I really like to see people. I like when I get the emails saying, hey, software's clicking for me now. I'm able to do some things I wasn't able to do before. I'm making good headway. Those are the emails that kind of pay dividends to me and, make me feel good about the support that we're trying to do around here. It's important that we're getting you folks the information that you need to be successful with this. So again, please, please, please don't be shy. Don't be shy. Aside from that, we could look at some charts again. But again, don't be afraid to get 32 inch. Let me see. Display settings. See if it tells. Yeah, 32 inch HP Pavilion 32 display. So I have 2 monitors. That's it. I used to use 3. I don't really need 3. Yeah, I don't run a lot of stuff either, to be honest. I really run very little stuff. What you see here is probably 65% what I run. And if I'm being honest, I don't almost ever look at this race here anymore. I just have it there. I don't look at this one. I guess I look at that one an all right amount. So I could get rid of this. Sometimes I use this, sometimes I don't. The my liked, I just kind of left it there at this point. This I don't really need during the day. This is mostly my after hours scanning, so I could drop a number of windows. I do leave Holly up. I like to see if she ever is interested in stocks that I'm interested in. But I don't trade a ton from Holly because I got some strict rules about what I'm looking for, and I don't know what's going to come through Holly versus these scans. I've created these scans, right? I know what's going to come through them. Doesn't mean that I'm going to like everything that comes through them, but I have a much better idea what will come through them than I do with Holly. So, but it's always, I just feel better about what I'm looking at when it is alerted by Holly. Two different access points. Yeah, so, well, we have 3 different access points. We have this here. This for Linda. So Linda, we have this here, the download version, right? And then we've got the web version that's here. And this is closer to the download version as far as scanning goes, but not charts. It's actually less close with the charts here. So it's this web version. But then we also have what we call our market dashboard. And that can be found here. Market scope 360 is the dashboard. And that we can do the trade wave on as well. And so you can see the trade waves here on this chart for me here. Collapse that in right there. And then you can see a little better right there. So 3 different access points. This is more mobile friendly. some people love this, some people don't love it. You know, just the way it kind of goes with these things. Ah, there you go, Pepe. See, Pepe is a genius. Never even would have thought about subscribing to it. I don't know why. I guess because I don't really watch much live on YouTube, or should I say, I don't watch anything live on YouTube. Everything I watch is always recorded. But we got a few minutes left. I don't know. I'd argue you are one, but you know. And Barry would argue you're one too. So I always listen to Barry. Always listen to Barry. Yeah, dashboard only has paper trading in it. No live trading on the dashboard. I don't know that it will or will not ever happen. I cannot confirm that it will. I cannot confirm that it will not happen. You know, as far as our development team is concerned right now, well, so the dashboard, James, that's actually where I was going to go. Actually, it's funny that you mentioned that. So that dashboard there, I'll bring it over again. Sorry. Our development team, our management team wants this to become TI Pro eventually, where everything inside the software will be here at some point. I don't know. There's things that all of a sudden they accelerate on, they get them knocked out, and then there's things that really start to trip the development team up, and there's some hurdles to get over. So, where they're going to land on all that, I don't know how soon it'll happen. Sorry, CRDO, the stock that bothers me. Yeah, I hate this stock. So fun story. I had this in my 401k, but where did I have it? We got to hit the Wayback Machine to find this, I think. Oh, this is just not sizing properly at all. Let's do that. So sorry, story time. And how even good risk management don't protect you. So I own this stock. And I bought it, I don't know, I want to say somewhere in the 16 and change range here. And we were just cruising along and we were up okay on it. And then, looked like, all right, maybe we're getting ready for some real takeoff here. And I woke up one morning and the stock was way down here because someone came out before their earnings or anything else and guided that they would be light on orders for chips and blah, blah, blah from them. And like a good risk management person, it blew through a stop that I had, overnight, and I just closed it. And the thing continued to flounder down here for, a lot of time. Didn't really do much of anything. It took, however many months to come up anywhere near where I had been, right? And then it went way back down again, and it wasn't doing a whole lot of anything. And then next thing you know, it just started doing this here and climbing and climbing and climbing and climbing and leaving me licking my wounds and now way up here doing that. So anyways, really annoying. I don't think so on the trade wave question there. So, what the one thing we've done, it's a EMA cross and cloud. There's a little bit of volume behind it that has to get satisfied, but it's tough. Like, 1 minute it's keeping stuff out that we don't want. The next minute it's keeping stuff out that we do want. Right. And, we don't want to be the pickers and choosers, especially when that scan that I was showing before doesn't have, doesn't have any customization capabilities here, right? So for now, it lives like this. So you can change the volume in your charts, the colors. If you right click and you come to indicators here, you're going to want to go to edit indicator, look for your volume, click on that, go to modified colors, go use up and down colors, right? And then you can set the up color and you can set the down color. And that's how you could get your volume to color like mine is colored. So again, just to go over that, sorry, I know I went over that fast. So right click, indicators, edit, volume, modify colors, and then select use up and down colors. And then you'll select the up and select the down. And of course, if you want to add an indicator, that's when you'd come here to add indicator and you'd select the indicator you want to add. You can modify it any way that you want to over here. Once you've selected it, then you click add, and that's that. And if you ever want to remove an indicator, you come to the edit, you select it, press move, save. I don't know, to be honest, actually. I am not sure if he'll be doing work on the Market Explorer. Maybe they'll contract him out for it. I'm not sure. Excellent, excellent. Glad you got that. Glad you got that. I know there's a few other individuals that can do work on the Market Explorer. I don't know whether they will be or will not be. No one has indicated that to me here. Also, Michael's departure was a bit of a surprise to me. So I'm left with more questions than answers, to be honest, personally. Yeah. Like I said, it was the same thing when Sean left us. That came as a bit of a shock to me as well. But here we are. So, all right, a couple of more minutes, folks. If anybody has some questions for me, don't be shy. Don't be shy. Sorry for the clacking. How do we set pre and post markets on charts as default? So you could do this, Sean. Go ahead and right click your chart and then go to properties, set them up, right? Select those. So we'll do this right now. Make this exercise here. Properties, post market. All right, so now I've got pre and post on there. We'll scroll so we can see them, right? So we can see post market, pre market, regular hours on either side of it. Now, if you right click and you go to save as default, every chart you open will be exactly like the chart you have right now. So whatever indicators you have on there, whatever stock it was, and whatever time frame it was, they will all be saved as that default. And so every time you open a chart, it'll look just like that chart you saved as default. And you can always change that default as well. If you want to, all of a sudden you decide I want these indicators to open, or I want this chart style to open, whatever it happens to be that you want, you can resave that. You're probably in replay mode. So just check here that you're not using the replay mode and you're pressing play there instead for the stock race. That's why you're in a replay mode. Money Machine. So there's no sign up currently for it right now. It's in the view demo mode right now. It's kind of tough to follow along manually, unfortunately. But everybody can see it here in the dashboard for now. All right. We're working on, first we got to work on a connection to Alpaca. This is not the same as connecting alert windows. This is much different for us to connect these here for the trading versus the alert windows. So we're still working that out. And once we do that, then we will move on to the testing of it. There's a lot of customizations that are going on with this. At some point, the management team will send out an email to everybody on our primary email list for a second wave on the wait list to open up. They're playing it close to the vest. There's a lot of people asking and requesting, and so there's some concerns that if everybody jumps into the same scans and trades the same exact things, that it will create a not so great situation actually for not just those individuals who end up all chasing each other, but for us that we look like we're encouraging people to chase the same stocks, which could then lead us to some other problems. So there are a few things we got to hatch out on our end. For now, there's the one wait list. There will be a second one, but they're not saying they're not saying when. So that's all I can share at this time. I'm sorry. I wish I had more to share with you. So just, make sure you're subscribed to our primary list, and when that email goes out, hopefully you're there to see it. That's all I can say at this time. Now, I will say that if everything goes our dream way of going, we can add the customizations that we want to add here and all those things like that. We probably end up opening it to a lot of people, probably, most everybody, but many hurdles for us to get through before, and I'm one of those people that I never like to overpromise, right? I like to wait till delivery before we're talking about it. So, but I do have to answer the questions that are asked. So, all right, folks, I am going to wind it down now as I do have to move into another meeting. Before you go, please, if you are not in the trading room with Barry, you are doing yourself the greatest possible disservice I could think of. And I mean that with no hyperbole or sarcasm or anything else. I have no finance background whatsoever. I stumbled into trade ideas and I stumbled into the trader's room many, many years ago. And I just listened and watched, for a while and took some notes. I didn't understand, I understood hardly anything, and I'm web searching everything. And then once I started to get a little bit under my belt, I started to ask Barry questions. And, next thing I know, I'm subscribing to Trade Ideas a few months later. And then, here I am working for them years later. It took me a while. It was a long journey. This was not it was not an easy journey for me for any of this stuff whatsoever, but I'm not sure I would have made it to where I am anyways. And I'm by no means, I will not be driving any Lambos or buying yachts or anything like that at any point in the near future. But I'm better now than I was when I first found this place. I'm better now than I was 2 years ago. I'm better now than I was 4 years ago. So, please head over and join Barry's coming off his break any second. If he isn't already, you would be doing yourself the hugest disservice ever if you are not in our trading room with him at least a couple of days a week, at least a few hours a day, something like that. So that'll do it for me here. Quite possibly you'll see me again tomorrow. No promises. Could be Andy, could be Steve. We'll see how it goes. So thank you all very, very kindly for joining me, and I will see you on the next trip around. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.